Silly Nay by Dimension off the album Fourth Dimension. Their fourth album, as you might expect. No long, drawn-out intro this time. We got a couple of gamers ready to rumble. Let's rock.
Get on to rock, get up to burn, stand with the pride, ever feel your desire. One day I noticed that my life.
Hey everybody, thanks for coming through this evening. We got a lovely little WeebCup. 10 gamers this evening. It's been a long week for generic soda over here. I had a bunch of stuff happen. I had a nice monthly where I lost to OK again. Got second. They swapped to the bike and beat me black and blue. Trying to make kombucha, and wouldn't you know, there's mold growing on top of it. Ooh! Longtime gamer who's been absent for a little while, BeanBagels coming through with Sin Kisk, unusual. If the sound is a little quiet, let me know. I've been doing some adjusting. BeanBagels starting off strong with the big / counter hit. There's one thing we know about Sin Kisk, it's that he gets big counter hits around start. ScoobyDoo. Ooh, ooh! Unfortunate, whiffed. 6p into whiffed gold burst. In a situation here, and not a good situation. I really like how EmoScoobyDoo is playing patient though, not dashing straight in. There we go. Gotcha, let me adjust that sound just a touch. Let me know how that is while I keep on yapping. But yeah, I like how EmoScoobyDoo is playing. Sin Kisk, strong reversal, has a very high damage potential, so you don't want to accidentally swing into that DP, so I can appreciate EmoScoobyDoo playing careful. Good reversal! EmoScoobyDoo picking up an early dub. It's BeanBagels' turn to, well, excuse me, EmoScoobyDoo's turn to go for burst. Still low? Gotcha. Appreciate you bearing with me this evening. Like I said, did adjust the sound a little bit. Does that sound better? Here comes the... Ooh, that was a big opportunity. BeanBagels is very thankful, no doubt. Again, playing patient. EmoScoobyDoo has to play around Eno's low life values, and with 100 meter, 2 sticks of butter for Sin, and I gotta play careful. Moving into game 3. Early mix. I know BeanBagels knows what the mix is all about. They used to play Bridget, has been a WeebCup champion before. Really, sounds the same. Bizarre. I did a big tweak on the volume. I'll try to sort... Ooh, back throw incident. Nice save. It's a lot of meter to spend, though, just to stay safe. Just with a throw reset, BeanBagels on the cusp of going down. I was about to say, if anyone can make a miracle, it's Sin Kisk with the damage, but not this time. I wonder why the audio sounds really low. It was almost peaking earlier, so I had to turn it down, but, yeah, a bit odd. Just a little bit odd. Set it back to what seems like it was earlier. Okay. I mentioned Bridget earlier, and Bridget is here. You know, can a high-low girl love another high-low girl or something? Definitely think BeanBagels is gonna have the edge when it comes to the nooch, though. Bridget has really long reach, and if you play around what she can do really well, he still has lots of tricks to stay mobile. Okay, appreciate your feedback there. The sound yesterday was a little funky when I was streaming. A little bit of a gymnastics there going under the reversal. EmoScoobyDoo pouring it on, as Eno wants to do. Leaning up, halfway to victory, EmoScoobyDoo. EmoScoobyDoo's a regular watcher of my stream, comes in frequently when playing in the same brackets as I do. Tampa Never Sleeps, Guilty Ear, and I've had a spate of bad luck lately, but seems to be pretty in control right now. Oh! That whiffed throw looked real dicey for a second there. I tell you what, even though I was saying earlier that Scooby-Doo seems in control, it's not an uneven matchup at all. We're seeing lots of, big scoop! Yeah, we're seeing a lot of back and forth, like, it's definitely not a straight 2 rounds for either gamer. Forced to spend the meter there, BeanBagels. I really like that, using the Wild Assault at the very end to drain a little burst from Scooby-Doo. Of course, Scooby-Doo does have that meter advantage. We'll see if a Deflect or a Blue Wild Assault can really tilt the scales. There we go, the Deflect Shield. Creating some space, but Bridget is so good at just driving gamers to the corner. It's XP. We love 6Ps in this. Ooh, see? Right as I said it. Goes low. You gotta be careful fuzzying Bridget. And be very safe if you try to fuzzy her. Oh, that's it for sure. Yep. I guess, part of where I talk about this character, the direction I come from when discussing how to deal with Bridget, is that my character has very, very high amount of life, so has a lot of gambles that he can take in regards to dealing with Bridget's mix-up. But with Eno, it's a different story. You don't have the same health resources, so even though I'm thinking in this situation to do X, Y, and Z, you know, you can't apply it. The difference is in character that you have to take into consideration when commentating. A little bit of use of... Ooh, what a clash! A little bit of use of the note there. I really like that from EmoScoobyDoo. Trying to... You can use it to check the incoming yo-yo to see if it's one that's going to hit you directly or if you need to worry about it coming back. I wonder if that's the mentality between what EmoScoobyDoo is using it for, or if that's just... And there we go, EmoScoobyDoo trademark, the chemical love to frame kill in the corner to get the slump, just a little extra meter. Yeah, Eno has been very, very weird ever since she got changed with her notes. I know people who say that Eno doesn't have the strong Oki, not strong neutral compared to other things, other characters, but there we go. Another scoop. Oh yeah, also, again, that's me talking from an Anji perspective of the matchup. I use my projectile just to check the yo-yo, but it's never going to hit from the longest of ranges. But Eno, it's a different story. The longer Eno's note travels, the more hits it does even. This is the situation BeanBagels wants to be in. These easy high-lows. Ooh, manages to catch with the yo-yo. BeanBagels really able to sneak that round away from EmoScoobyDoo. Pretty even on resources. Oh no, how did that happen? What happened? I'm not quite sure what happened there. I don't think that was a blocking animation, was it? It looked like Bridget just phased through. I gotta review the tapes at some point. That's a huge blow to EmoScoobyDoo game. BeanBagels closing out with a perfect. That is absolutely wild. Whenever I go back over the tapes, I'm uploading things on YouTube the next day, the VOD. You know, I usually do a little checking here and there, but I definitely, when I'm looking at it tomorrow, I gotta really scan what's happening in this first match. Is that something that can even happen? Because...
Duel 1. Let's rock.
I'm not sure. That might be it. I have to take a look at it. EmoScoobyDoo not showing any signs of being pressured by that. Just getting in nice and early. Big 2H. The lovely disjoint on that 2H. The stop right there button. The fishing rod. Scores a big chunk of damage. Positive on the board is gonna close that out. Love this kind of back and forth we're seeing after something really shocking in the previous round. EmoScoobyDoo rallying and managing to take a lead. Going under the 2H. The mix comms. What will we see? Will we see an empty low? No, going for the high-low. Nice, nice RC, scouting the burst. It can be very easy to RC and accidentally swing into a burst that's already active. EmoScoobyDoo really making great use of all the tools in the drawer there. And we're going to game 5. We're pushing each other, both gamers pushing each other to the limit very early on in the bracket. Now, the first stream match, you love to see it. BeanBagels sticking with Bridget. Not swapping back to Sin. The HoboNinja has entered the room. Be in one of our next matches. Oh no, big 2H at the beginning. EmoScoobyDoo forced to spend burst. Not a whole lot of damage on the board, but losing burst is big. A more respectable chunk coming out of BeanBagels' life when they spend a burst. And now unable to escape from this big counter hit. MLA getting a huge starter. Going for the legs. Closing things out with aplomb. The super doesn't even need to. Wants to send a message. EmoScoobyDoo. He checks the throat with the 2S. One of Bridget's best pressure tools. Trying to fuzzy it is no good. Getting in with the sultry performance. I like the spacing on the stroke there. But gets thrown trying to deflect. It's BeanBagels' turn to send a message. No, no, jumped out of the throw. It's XP. Oh, manages to catch the extended limb. Cross up. EmoScoobyDoo has blue wild assault and throwing some nice pressure. Won't kill. BeanBagels has one chance. Ooh. Just a little scramble at the end there. Goes for the quick poke to the ankles. EmoScoobyDoo, 3-2. We love seeing a match go to the very limit. At the very first ring of the gong. EmoScoobyDoo will be moving on. Who's pinging me? Oh, damn it. Did I not start things? I didn't start things. Okay. Alrighty. We got the scores to punch in. EmoScoobyDoo will be moving on to fight Drax off screen. We got second in the last bracket. Ooh, that's right. It's Fatcatteddy and C-Drive, the fated match. With a twist. Teddy is using Bedman this week, this month?
Mankind knew that they cannot change
100% sure. I know they said they were gonna they were coerced into using Bedman. C-Drive is a Bedman main. So surely knows all the tricks.
特別警戒中です。不審な行動をした場合、敵意があるものとみなします。どうして私を巻き込むんですか?
Venom theme, love to hear it. Before things start, we got two characters who... I guess I can't really say that. Unica is the character with the big clunky movements, and despite Bedman's huge frame, you would expect them to be a slow mover, but no, Bedman quite mobile in the air. We'll have to see what Teddy makes of this character's movements. Look at the install. Teddy getting the big 6P, one of Bedman's scariest tools. Just a little freak out for the, a little bit of hesitation on the throw there. Big bar slash from C-Drive. Not quite able to convert. It's all well and good to get these big powered up special moves from Unica on her follow-ups, but you need the proper spacing to land with them, otherwise you're gonna find yourself very open to counterattack. I know C-Drive, pretty new to Unica, has the knowledge on how to deal with this character, Bedman, because of the matchup, but maybe just knowledge gaps on how to use this character can be the deciding factor, swing things in Teddy's favor. Ooh! Aims for the skies and lets it rip. The White Wild Assault. It's important to represent that early. Under pressure in the corner, C-Drive. I check. You have to check. After an H button into the malfunction. There's a 5-frame gap. If you let it rock, you know, Bedman's gonna get pressure. Ooh, checks the White Wild Assault before it even comes out. I wonder, was Teddy mashing there, or... There we go. C-Drive's getting more enhances close in the corner. No spend on Megadeth. That's a throw. Be careful challenging Bedman in the corner. In the air, excuse me. Yeah, there's definitely a discrepancy in how both of these characters play in the air. Unica has very slow movements, very difficult, not difficult to use, I'd say, but no major disjoints on the air moves in a situation that would let them really contest Bedman, I don't think. But Bedman has very good air-to-airs. JP and JS both are very strong buttons, and we'll have to see how C-Drive uses air movement. Now it's Teddy who has the advantage right now. Forced to burst though. I mean, I really like that use of the air install to just hang over the beam. I don't know if it was intentional, but it's definitely stylish. Under pressure. Don't want to get hit by Unica's DP. No, you're gonna get hit by a wake-up bar slash though. C-Drive. You know, Teddy with the GC Yoshi special. Just hit 2P on wake-up. And if it works, I'm a god. A little bit of a awkward pause after that counter hit 6P. I wonder if maybe an input didn't quite work out the way C-Drive wanted. Both players left kind of just staring each other down. too exciting happening here. Just a trading of blows. There we go. That's the big Bedman air moves I was talking about. Oh! Nice burst. Surely would have been tagged by the malfunction follow-up there. Under pressure from the plus ranks. Again, just checking. C-Drive, belligerent. Oh, really? That's how that interacts. Is the first hit pushed back very far? 2H and Deflect Shield interacting that way. Who'd have thunk it? Not really played enough matches against Unica to really get a feel how it works. Checking in the Discord here to see how the bracket is spinning out. You got Stinky Steve and Head Chef and losers. BeanBagels there as well. Waiting on gamer yet to be sent down. Drive doing a good job of checking these follow-ups before they happen. The life discrepancy between these two is enormous. Unica's pretty average in terms of life. I believe a 1.0 modifier and 2 guts. Significantly less health than Bedman, though. Very durable character. Set up the bomb. One thing of note is, most any time Teddy plays one of C-Drive's characters like Gold Lewis on stream, C-Drive is always in the chat talking mad smack about what Teddy is doing or how they're failing to optimize stuff. So I wonder how the mental game will play out in Teddy's favor this evening. Will C-Drive be maybe a little too cranky about how things are playing out? How dare you throw me there, that kind of thing. Install ready to go. Just throws Teddy, though. Now we don't have to worry about install if the other player's been defeated. Both players halfway to victory with a game and a round under their belts. Backs out of the cross-up. It's one of Unica's big Oki tools, is to IADJH for a cross-up. D-Drive. Playing nice and aggressive. Open for a reversal though. Teddy. Ooh! Great use of deflect there to push Unica out. Now the follow-up pushed out and punished. All of these characters, players just looking to use reversals. Ooh. Perhaps baiting a burst there. Ooh, Teddy going over the swing. Just throwing out the projectile. Come to think of it, I feel like Teddy's style of using Bedman compared to how C-Drive does it, a little less eager to just throw out the projectiles. That's not a bad thing per se, but let me see here. Teddy, 2 rounds away from victory. What can C-Drive do to stop it from happening? What knowledge of this matchup can they bring? Now, for all I was talking about, Teddy seeming a little less eager to zone, they're using it quite well when it does happen. Great use of the pins to stop Unica, stop C-Drive from using 6H to power up specials in neutral. Just goes for a raw task B immediately? What a sicko. Too early on the bomb follow-up. Ends up using a lot of resources as a result. B-Drive is full up. Takes advantage of it. Fighting back. Malfunction for plus frames, but C-Drive... C-Drive is belligerent here. And you know what? So is Teddy. Always wants to check what C-Drive is doing, and C-Drive wants to be doing stuff constantly. Ooh! Oh, not quite. Not quite able to finish it with the bomb. That would have been cool, but... not quite able to. See, there we go. Now resorting to zoning, but... using Penetrate to go under C-Drive... remember, the wake up, not wake up, the 6H into the Bean Oki is very meaty when done properly. Z-Drive's taking full advantage of that. Just going for these overheads, not even bothering to power them up, just wants to clobber Teddy. You know, there's a difference between sending a message and whatever C-Drive's doing. There we go, the big clobber with the power-up. Gets the follow-up. Is safer. There you go, you see the big charged malfunction coming at you. We're up the reversal. It's not just that it paints you as an easy target, but the malfunction follow-up is so plus and deals so much chip damage that you do not want to deal with that in the slightest. Me. Send a quick message here. He's starting off the stronger with the counter hit JS. I like what C-Drive was going there, perhaps using the dash cancel from 6H to fake out some Oki, but just getting scooped. Teddy perhaps looking out for a scoop from C-Drive. Just checks the overhead again. I tell you, Teddy has been playing very aware of these overheads this evening. And getting clipped by the unpowered up ones, but when the powered up ones come, C-Drive is, excuse me, not C-Drive, Teddy is ready to check them. C-Drive is on set point here. This goes a little too far using the penetrate to go underneath of Teddy. The range Teddy wants to zone at. Again, Teddy on the lookout for these powered up overheads. C-Drive has a gold burst with positive. It doesn't matter. Teddy just willing to check the overhead. 3-2. Teddy will be moving on to top 8 winners side, while C-Drive moves down to fight BeanBagels off stream. Let me do a little bit of pinging there. Teddy says they do not like this character, but it is what it is. That's the bed you made, and you're gonna sleep in it. See, unlike the frame joke, that one was not intentional. We're moving on to BT versus HoboNinja. BT, our champion from last week.
So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts.
Heaven or hell?
Had the biggest smile on my face right now. Oh, it's so cool. What an intro. Hello? Alright, just playing very cautious, and you know what? I can respect it. HoboNinja does have a great handle on this matchup. So I believe, even though Ninja down in the seating compared to BT, has the damage, has the means, has the knowledge. Turn this around in a hurry. Oh, very nice. Card canceling into the... Oh no! BT. Like a bird into a window there. And with one more hit on the reflector, under so much pressure, just can't even fight back. It's HoboNinja's round to lose. HoboNinja's starting this one strong as well. No Potemkin Busters landed yet, but I'm sure someone will be ready with the ASCII command. Good check with the 5P. That's the primary thing to do against this Eno character, is you have to interact with her at some point. That's 6P to go into the flick. That's BT driving HoboNinja to the corner. Ooh. Okay, HoboNinja's in it. Ooh, armor's through. RCs. Ooh. One more interaction. It's HoboNinja's interaction. Ooh, what a great round to start with. BT going into this bracket as top seed finds himself in for a fight. Playing a little more patient right now. Potemkin not able to dash under, not able to dash at all really, but not able to walk under the likes of Chemical Love. Can use Flick to kind of hunker down underneath it, as well as to counteract antidepressant scale, the note. Look like... Ooh. Okay, Garuda pressure started thanks to a quick Roman cancel from HoboNinja, but this is all BT though. Playing a lot more cautious. Ooh. Charging in like that into an active hitbox, no matter if it's a super or Potemkin's shoulder, could lead to a very quick reversal of fortune though. HoboNinja not having the charge to capitalize off of that heat tackle. It's at the meter. Oh my gosh! Thought for sure something huge would happen there as a result of it. Neither player willing to spend burst though. Going into round 2, fully refreshed. Ooh. Ninja making great use of walk and block to deal with the Chemical Love. Neither player still looking to spend a burst. Okay, there we go. HoboNinja is in. A little bit of stagger pressure there. Garuda. Oh, catches the backdash. Now it's BT's turn to burst. Good use of the sultry performance to go through the armor. HoboNinja under pressure, surely out now. BT chalks one up. Tell you what, I am very thirsty right now. Let me get a big sippy. It's leg day today, so I'm pretty tuckered out, maybe a touch dehydrated. Got some more strenuous exercise on the menu. Real strenuous here is tension between both of these characters. And I'm not talking about the meter, I'm talking about the mental situation. Ooh, ninja. Caught before the armor startup twice. Finally getting a hammer fall. Power through. Blue Wild Assault. Little drop. Woo! Oh, poor one out for that Potemkin Buster. I've said this before, but Eno, in the corner like that, you gotta be careful about holding back on her, not keeping her under pressure for fear of whatever. Because if she super jumps, she can dive straight out. You gotta create just a little bit of distance. Of course, with mobility like Potemkins, it's not gonna matter that much anyway. BT. Reestablishing a great use of space just outside of 5H range. Gets caught, put to the corner. Okay, has to burst out after that Potemkin Buster damage. BT has a whole bunch of meter to work with. They can totally bring this back. Ooh. Goes low. No Megalomania. I almost thought we'd see it for a second. We'll just 5P check. Catches the backdash on Wake Up. HoboNinja. Potemkin's close slash is a little on the slow side to make up for it not having quite as many active frames as other close slashes. Great range, can catch a backdash with ease, despite what the numbers may say. He will have to look out for that when playing defensively.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Goes under the Mega Fist. I wonder if getting a little too antsy in neutral may not pay dividends for BT in the long run. Just gets clipped after the strokes. HoboNinja ready with the... Oh, I thought that was Potemkin Buster. Ready with the hammer fall to pursue that time after that knockdown. BT will be getting a quick positive, though. Felt deceptively close, though. Every time both characters have a stare down at point-blank range like that, I have what feels like a mini heart attack. I fear for anybody so close to a grappler, you know? Ooh, goes under the flick. BT. And back. Again, we see a little trade of movement options, low profiling, one versus the other. BT looking in control right here. Resource advantage. Has the hard knockdown. HoboNinja can make a comeback. That's how grapplers be. The chat looks split both ways. Just goes low. No chance to burst. BT with a perfect. Again, I gotta take a little sippy. I apologize, that was way more than just a little sippy. Couple big sippies there. 2-2. Will we see a nickel and dime match play out in BT's favor, or we see a robbery occur from this big grapple man? This is definitely... Woo! Heat tackle is a big risk there. HoboNinja have to play very careful. That. Ninja with meter. Using not to spend on YRC. It It's a little mix, the high-low happens. BT is on set point, just like that. I get this to go over. Remember, Eno is blessed with a 6-frame 2K. Woo! Avoiding the command grab. BT bursts out of the stagger situation. Or Ninja. YRC's big 5H counter hit gets the hard knockdown. No 5P. Catch the backdash. Ooh. HoboNinja. Command grabbing at range. Not sure what their game plan is there, HoboNinja. Robbery could easily happen. What blocks? Look at these blocks. HoboNinja. Ah! Through the wall, though. 3-2. BT closes out. It is all quiet right now as we wait for connection to be finalized. Status is lost. We are going back to the room now. Alrighty, that concludes our non-top 8 matches. BT3, HoboNinja 2. HoboNinja moving down to loser's side will be joining us in top 8 though. We are gonna have BT come back in just a little bit. First, Drax vs. Rain. What window do I have here? Drax first Rain. Drax got second place last week. I believe is a regular competitor in Guilty Ear, along with the likes of Rain and BT. There's a little bit of potential team kill situation happening here. Don't mind me mumbling to myself. It's obligations outside of running WeebCup. Maybe we'll see more about that in the future. I'll see what I can do. Rain on Johnny. Last time we saw Rain trying out Unica. Really? You know, Johnny's hat is so wide it can 6P you, is what it seems to be. And, Drax with Bike in here. If, my training partner, friend, and rival OK is to be believed, this Biken character preys on your mental stack, and is not just a gorilla. Tell you what, though, for all the, flack Johnny gets for being in top 5, I really think Biken is a sleeper character who could just easily slot into a top 5 situation. At the very worst, she's top 10, so yeah, it mix-ups nice and easy, deals a ton of damage. Do we see a comeback here? Oh, not quite! You know, whoever gets the next interaction wins for sure. Neither player wants to really commit. It is Drax who finds the JS. Close things out. Ooh! What a scoop! You know, parrying a little too early, and worry about missed finer. It's projectile functionality when you've got the parry that only works against strikes. Rain looking to gain a whole bunch of burst back going into the next round. Drax clip. We're going round 3, excuse me. No missed finder to close that out, just letting Drax live in the corner. Card on the table leads to a big conversion with the turn up. It's the wall stomp. Rain. Had a conversion on the table there, but didn't quite go for it. Maybe just autopiloting into stagger pressure. Does find a route to close things out. Rain up 1. Ah, interesting. EmoScoobyDoo and BT swapping Eno tips in chat there. I have to keep that in mind next time I see that match cross my eyes. You know, both of these characters with 9-frame far slashes. It'll be interesting to see what happens if they decide to cross swords at round start. Ooh, good call out on the burst. Rain just jump canceling to keep things safe. Big card to keep the corner. It's all Rain right now. That's a good use of YRC while Johnny's dashing. Not able to dash block this character. So YRC is a great opportunity to get your free out of jail free card. Drax is finding some nice counter hits here. And finding a nice spacing to be safe after that JD. Not intentionally, that's Rain FDing. We see the 9-frame mid-range button working out in Drax's favor. Surely safe from a reversal there, Drax. A few jabs after the throw, all they need. This use of IBFD against Kabari, it can really keep you safe. It's difficult to do, but if you know how to IBFD consistently, Kabari is much less threatening. Rain baiting the burst, again, just jump canceling out. Going for the Ensenga, you gotta keep meter when dealing with Viking. DRC backdash. Great challenge, Drax. Looking out for the vault into card toss. Card on the table. Just manages to get the overhead as an air-to-air. I find there's a lot of situations in life where the slower person gets rewarded. Like, if you're trying to turn into a lane, you know, whoever's driving behind you gets first dibs, it seems. They turn first, you gotta yield to them. It sucks. Say, as somebody who, takes an hour and a half to drive to the monthlies, you know? We're going back to the match, though. Drax, swapping to Elf Belt. We saw this last week when they overcame Shadow Gecko. Whereas that match had a lot of knowledge checking going on, I feel like Rain is going to play really solid and is not going to get gimmicked out. Simply ride the slipstream behind the faster Potemkin, you're so right. Ooh, nice use of the shot to create a situation where Bridal Express will get in safely. Chain Lollipop. You cracked me up, chat. You're doing a good job tonight. Chain Lollipop. Does have some gimmicks, but Rain's playing around it pretty well. Managing to block safely and use reversals to call things out. Now the follow-up from Chain Lollipop, the gunshot, it's -5, but in a situation like that, even though it's safe, you're not really at an advantage, especially against Johnny's 9-frame far slash. You can easily feel the flow of the match back from you. So your safe ender, you know, maybe not quite what you were looking for. Rain is making great use of air throws throughout this whole set, huh? Rain saw a 6P after that 6H cancel from Elfelt. You have to be careful from that. Remember, Chain Lollipop from a 6H or 5H cannot be 6P. Rain must play careful. Rain is spending resources just to get in and stay in. Risk is looking pretty pranked. Drax finds the air throw first, though. You know, a little Jade 5D just to show off at the very end. If you've never looked at Elfelt's 5D animation, you should sometime. It's nice. Not quite getting a big confirm off that close slash counter hit. Rain will follow up with a super. Gold Burst can be safe jumped. Shot from behind. The behind the back, the no look. Gunshot from Elfelt. Drax getting a little initiative off that. Big chunk of damage. Things are looking a little more... Ooh, you know, scratch that. Johnny does Johnny things. Listen, y'all have Teddy, you play Soul. You have no right to complain about how high supers reach. Tyrant Rave reaches to the absolute gosh darn heavens for compared to how it actually looks like. I'm over here with Anji, like, lucky if my super can reach people if I hit them high against the wall. Alright, we're gonna get BT and Fatcatteddy in here in just a moment. Looks like Teddy's already taken one player's side. Ball get put out. Alright. They're in. Need to. A quick look at the bracket. It looks like Stinky Steve and BeanBagels have been eliminated from the bracket. I mean, have you seen how long Johnny's sword is? Nice use of the stroke to go into the drone and gain initiative. BT. Back throw incident. Excuse me? Behind the back? We're seeing, like, lots of the no-look slam dunks this evening. BT is gonna have a heck of a time coming back from this, assuming they don't just get bludgeoned to death by a coffin immediately. Good 6P early, allowing BT to take the corner. A quick overhead there. We worked with about half their life left. Making good use of White Wild Assault. Has done so with Bedman earlier in the bracket. I think that's one thing. You know, I see C-Drive in the chat there is probably going to balk at me complimenting Teddy in any way on how he plays Gold Lewis, but I do think when Teddy uses the big bodies, They do a very good job of representing White Wild Assault as a threat to... like I said, C-Drive's already talking... Uh-oh. It's caught by the laser. Recovering from the super. BT in a real pickle here. Woo! I respect the vision, Teddy, but just gets clipped by the chemical love before the chain gun can come out. But yeah, Teddy does a very good job of using White Wild Assault as a threat, just representing it as an option they can use to plow through whatever you're trying to do in neutral. C-Drive, by comparison, is much more reserved, much more conservative with how they use White Wild Assault. Oh my gosh. You know, I need that BT in triplicate. Doesn't quite manage to make it work out with that reversal, no matter how you slice it. BT, he's just, yeah, closing it out for sure with the overhead. Oh my gosh, C-Drive. It is so funny to watch Teddy play Gold Lewis whenever C-Drive's in chat there. Oh, it's buffered? What's C-Drive gonna say about that? And it's not like I'm trying to put C-Drive on the spot, though. I think this is hilarious. Oh!
Mankind knew that.
Oh. With difficulty, that's how you do it. Just schmoovin' in with Johnny. Teddy. Teddy is maybe not making the best use of Johnny's movement, seems to be doing absolutely everything to steer right into areas of trouble. But you know, you can't complain about this damage. Can't save jump that. Not with that button anyway. BT caring little for the threat of a wake-up reversal. The scoop, and Teddy, ooh, just able to close that off the throw with the Roman cancel. There's that 2S. Talk about it every week, and for good reason. BT. Under pressure. Does manage to stop Johnny from just moving in. It's always spooky when the guy just comes schmooving up like that. No way to go through the wall. Teddy under pressure. Has the resources, has the round count against them at this point in time. BT just diving in. Ooh, just a wake-up close slash? To shoot BT out of the air? Ooh. It's a great time to reversal. Managing to catch the Wild Assault. Eddie evens things up. 1-1 now. We tend to cash out at plus 15. Teddy spends meter to be plus 12 instead. Speed drive. Oh, this is the funniest thing to look at in the chat. It's just wonderful. Hang on a second. I'm gonna take like a very brief break from actually commentating to do something up. New command. Exclamation point. Teddy. There we go. There we are. Alright, new command for you. Find it if you dare. Alright, we're back to actually looking at what's happening on the screen now. BT has a round and is just breaking Teddy's spine like Bane would have done. Catches with the overhead, has the resources, has the positioning, has the means. Take the score to 2-1. BT. Our number 1 seed has a great position. Oh my gosh. You gotta calm down, C-Try. Alright, Teddy goes for the bluff after putting the cards on the table. Are the misfire to call. Cashing out with the card toss super. BT really on the back foot here. Ooh, just a walk-up scoop. Nice bluff. Bending burst, Teddy. Has a card down. Oh, it's going now. Do some maneuvering from BT. Closing things out here. It's on set point. Teddy could easily take a round and even things up though. We'll have to see who takes the initiative. A little bit of cranked wrist for Teddy's side. BT shrugging it off. Teddy has the resource advantage. The 6P after the stroke. BT playing brutal. Yeah, spend the burst there. Teddy, in her last legs, has maybe like 2 hits left in them with the Johnny health. You know, 1 hit if it's a throw. BT, 3-1. Moving on to grand finals. Face off against Rain. We're gonna head down to the lower side of the bracket now. EmoScoobyDoo versus Head Chef. Let me ping all of our gamers. You know, it could be the stage. I was just thinking that it might be the stage. I've never, I ought to take a look at some point at what's going on, if anyone's run the numbers on those stages yet. Dustly Blake Wiki. Yeah, it's not up to date. The last one that's gotten shown is, Abba's stage, the Fallen Prayer and Golf Live stage. I think going forward I might put... Excuse you. I think I might put a moratorium on the that stage that we just saw, the fields. We'll have to see. Once some numbers get run, I may consider putting it back into rotation. A sec. Before we go in, I love that line. There are layers to that. And I'm very glad that C-Drive said it. If this stage is, like, absolutely dying, I'll put a moratorium on it. No, we see another Eno, one after the other. Ooh. Oh my gosh, I didn't update the gosh darn thing. There we go. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, Head Chef is just cleaning house nice and early here. You know, Teddy, it's about the message you sent. It's so multi-layered that I wanted to. The more I looked at it, the more it made me laugh, and I knew what I had to do. All right, EmoScoobyDoo fighting back. Has Head Chef down to about less than half life now. Ooh. Chef under pressure. EmoScoobyDoo with the meter to close things out. Alright, we're seeing some air movement right now, and that's what we'd love to see from both these characters. The Chef. Maybe a little less I'm not sure if I believe that. Nice conversion with the bomb head. Head Chef. Oh, with the throw, Head Chef has the meter to make things work, and fortunately just gets clipped by that overhead. Now it's EmoScoobyDoo pouring on the pressure with that meter. Ooh. What an interesting little setup there for the whiffed chemical love. I could see that being quite interesting. Oh, the White Wild Assault! I was talking earlier about how it's an interesting thing that you gotta represent at some point. Head Chef doing so with aplomb. 1-0, Head Chef's favor. Ooh, gets caught by the last hit of that JH. It's tricky if you're not expecting all 6 hits. It can clip you. Ooh. Against tall characters, it's plus for Oki, I see. It did look like it whiffed against, in that position, so appreciate the clarification. Ooh. Tried to stroke under, gets clipped by the malfunction. That's a big problem. Health-wise, future-wise. Oh no, the 3-point shot! Flies straight into it. I mean, there's anti-airs, and then there's just, you know, filling the sky with flame and letting someone go into it. They're playing very patient. Being rewarded with a nice little pressure opportunity. They turn into OW. Head Chef 2-0. I want to take a second to say that Head Chef has a lot of Eno experience, you know, shows up at the monthlies and weeklies and whatnot to play against Kid Dracula, so Eno experiences vary on the table. Even the, let's see, I think it was last month that Head Chef actually put Kid Dracula into the losers bracket in Winners Finals. We'll have to see how far that will take Head Chef this evening. He's using 2H to close in. The faultless defense keeping him at a decent, safe distance. By the mix-up. It's not something I see KD use a whole lot, though I'm not sure if Head Chef knows 100% about it. They've been clipped by it twice now. Maybe they just weren't expecting it. Again, it looks like the cross-ups there are paying dividends for EmoScoobyDoo. Not the hugest dividends, it's just getting a little JK into a knockdown. Install. Headshot. Ooh. She gets air to air. Light enough to close it out. Just a little 5k to box out Head Chef's movement. Ooh. EmoScoobyDoo is rallying. Playing very patient, watching for the opportunities to stop the error follow-ups. Taking advantage of what appear to be blind spots in this matchup. Use of the chemical up to go over the pin, I like it. Ooh. Ooh, that Roman cancel could have come at it at a better time. Not enough time to escape from the shock follow-up from Deadman. The big malfunction, that's gonna be huge if Head Chef can get that bomb head off. No, EmoScoobyDoo scouting for it. Manages to force Head Chef to block and stops it in its tracks. Yeah, EmoScoobyDoo really rallying this evening after the first couple of matches. And I was saying much earlier in the bracket, maybe even against during EmoScoobyDoo's set against BeanBagels, that it's very easy to autopilot off of an RC even when you know your opponent's spending burst. Great awareness there. And that did happen. So you gotta be careful, you can't just autopilot. EmoScoobyDoo 1 to 2. Finding a good distance to use projectiles at outside Eno's range. Finds the close slash and has so much meter to work with. Bedman with meter is terrifying. Suddenly a character that has strong but flawed offense gets to cover up for their weaknesses and gets to convert into big damage. Oh, not quite! This is a huge opportunity. The mistimed cane from Head Chef not quite coming out. EmoScoobyDoo hacking for all their worth, getting the hard knockdown. We're seeing Head Chef bursting. That's a tall order. Head Chef has to commit to win, or else wasted burst. No burst to go into the next round with. No, they find it. Bro did enough. I thought it wouldn't quite do enough. They overestimate Eno's effective health sometimes, it seems. Chef? Using these errors really well. And just using the JS to rake through the air. Oh no. Oh my gosh. It did so much. What happens when you fully charge those things? 2S though, EmoScoobyDoo. Oh, finding the scoop! This feels like a big difference between how EmoScoobyDoo and BT play the game. EmoScoobyDoo loves to high roll with the likes of Megalomania, and it's definitely a crowd pleaser. Tables are so close to turning, not able to collect the plus frames because the wire goes through the projectile. It's a little scrambly. Okay, EmoScoobyDoo finding a great finish to that match when a little scramble had occurred at Chef. Under pressure. Through the wall, EmoScoobyDoo, what a conversion! Great use of RC, and has the ultimate Fortissimo to pick up the hard knockdown. And the positive, EmoScoobyDoo looking to score a perfect here. And spending burst to do so. Oh, back throw incident, not able to get a perfect. Can Head Chef turn things around here? You can't YRC when you're under JH pressure. EmoScoobyDoo now looking like the backs of the wall a little bit. Nah. There's plenty of space behind EmoScoobyDoo. Enough space to Chemical Love backwards and just find the final hit. Almost a cool reversal of fortune from Head Chef there, but no, Scooby-Doo keeps it cool.
Duel 1. Let's rock!
Seeing if I can prepare something special in just a moment, but for now, it's just taking the lead. Scooby-Doo has no burst. This backdash gets out of the Task B follow-up range. Getting shot by these needles, though. Not able to White find the conversion off that. Has to settle for an OTG. Head Chef on set point. Just jumping, perhaps out of fear of that Eno 2S. Ooh, the bomb. Deflect to get Bedman out. Goes through the bomb. Fearless there. Uses the MLA. Head Chef. Great counter hit into the install conversion to get the bomb. Ooh. I wasn't quite sure who would get the better at that exchange, but it was pretty even. Head Chef hit with the reversal. Note Oki goes low. Able to convert because of the stagger. Note Oki goes low. Just going for the wall slump. Blocks the Wild Assault. We see a little bit of a stumble there from whatever. EmoScoobyDoo, great convert into the out of the Chemical Love to finish things out. We're in a double Luigi situation. He baits the burst. Head Chef getting a little bit of airtime. Oh my gosh, they're just trading little blows back and forth. Head Chef finds a counter hit and has the corner. Not enough to close things out and get the wall flat. Great chicken blocking from EmoScoobyDoo. Goes over. Oh my gosh, gets the cross up. Just a couple Chemical Loves to get the wall splat and get the job done. Nothing fancy. Checks the Wild Assault. EmoScoobyDoo won't kill with this, but is on the verge of victory. Has 50 meter. Head Chef 2, but again, stopping the plus frames in their track with the YRC. Spending. Ooh! White Wild Assault to go under the Chemical Love. But it's all for naught. EmoScoobyDoo gets the final confirmed there. 3-2. Moving on.
Eno wins.
Great closeout to that match, though. I love how many matches are just getting down to the wire at the very end of things. Alright. EmoScoobyDoo, 3-2. Head Chef, appreciate you coming through this evening. Better luck next week. HoboNinja versus C-Drive up next. We got some gamers pulling up. We have one gamer pulling up. Probably got another... Let's see here. Time to play Night Rain? Hell yeah. Best of luck to you, Head Chef. Get a good, I don't know how Night Rain works. HoboNinja has been summoned. Watch me fumble the Potemkin matchup? You know, you'd better not, C-Drive. I've found out that I can create polls now on with the new mobile management from Twitch. It's ugly as heck, but it does allow me to create polls with ease, so I can do something really funny. You know, they're two big men, they're burly, they'll do what you want, they will do a lot of chip damage and build risk. C-Drive versus HoboNinja. Gold Lewis versus Potemkin. Let's rock. C-Drive drawing first blood. Woo. Blocked by the overhead. Ooh. Catches HoboNinja trying to mash. C-Drive. Ooh. Manages to find a good timing to jump over the flight head. And continues the assault. It's all C-Drive, all game long. Sorry, just thinking about this song and how it goes hard. Get a shuffling in neutral. Miracle HoboNinja didn't get punished for that whip Potemkin buster. Oh, gotcha, gotcha. Low air HCL Oki isn't just for tall characters, just not short ones. C-Drive with a dominant performance there, almost 2 perfects. Oh no. Listen, it's see, close slash, sometimes the spacing on Hammerfall can mean that close slash doesn't punish it, so you gotta get, like for example, I always go for a 5H punish, because I'm Anji and I can 5H into Karanagia. And I'm not like trying to fight you because it's funny or anything here, but woo! I just want to keep the, let me be clear, you know, that kind of thing. HoboNinja keeping the corner, and just to find the air Garuda. The air hit on the Garuda, rather. Doesn't even need the Heat Knuckle, just a quick 5P to close things out. HoboNinja is really making these Potemkin busters work. Finding a great just outside the BT range. Unfortunately, just outside of 5H range, gives C-Drive a little bit of wiggle room. Now C-Drive has completely reversed the situation. HoboNinja, who had spent burst to keep C-Drive in the corner, has their back to the wall. Just a quick check to the legs, closing things out. C-Drive halfway to victory. Matching around under their belt. Couple slide heads, rack up that chip, crank that wrist. HoboNinja. Landing burst. Woo! Surprised that back throw incident worked out as well as it did. This definitely won't kill it. Goldus has too much health. Yeah, I told you. I know what's good. White Wild Assault. I've told you how T-Drive likes to hold back till the critical moment. If that's not a critical moment, I don't know what is. But HoboNinja finds the 6P to stop the cross-up. 1-1. 1-all. Moving on to match 3. Threatening to move halfway through this best of 5. C-Drive. He's over Ninja where he wants him, but nice use of the slide head just outside of BT range. But Temkin's a big fella. Gets caught by that drone. Ninja has the wall. Ooh, what a punish! Great spacing. Find the throw after that PRC under the invuln of the reversal. Clobbered by the overhead BT and clip below. Just getting mixed. Again, halfway through. This bracket, rather this set. T-Drive needs a round and a match to get to victory. Oh, the scoop! Garuda impact. HoboNinja. Swooses on in with the hammer. Ooh. For once, I think that was probably not a accident, that hammerfall. What an anti-air 5P! T-Drive. Halfway to victory turns into almost there, just 2 more rounds. HoboNinja to turn things around. Play a bit more aggressively. Put a little more reflector on the screen. We haven't seen C-Drive use the laser yet. I want to see a clash of the laser and the reflector happening in neutral. Let's jump. Not quite at the right spacing to flick the drone. C-Drive just cashing out on this damage. Great pickup from the drone. Get the wall break. The Garuda catching the backdash, giving plenty of time for HoboNinja. Excuse me, Teddy? Do you mean like in the room, or did you teleport to the future or something? Is it Tuesday? Back throw incident from C-Drive. This time BT. Ooh. Ooh. Scoop RC into Scoop, the classic. Finding great space to use that 5H, backing off for fear of a reversal. HoboNinja. Baiting the burst excellently. HoboNinja makes it 2-2. I tell you what, yeah, HoboNinja's in the room. I can see him on my end now that I'm looking at the stream. Sends you off the deep end, like, as it makes you laugh or it tilts you, because, you know, depending on which side of the which side of the spectrum you on. If you're watching, it's the funniest thing in the world. If you're playing against it, you know, the world is flat and you found the very edge of it. Oh yeah, I feel you. You know, what a round start interaction. 5k to low profile something and heat knuckle to scoop you out of the air. Nobody hits anyone. Very funny. Genuine comedy. Don't understand how anyone can get tilted at Strive. The game is way too funny. Ooh, the big bonk. A frame kill with the flick? Interesting. I'll have to see if that's what HoboNinja had working for him. Ooh. Caught by the JD. Scooped up into the corner. Ambitious use of the armor to try and go through the drone, but it's just too slow at that point. I respect the vision, HoboNinja. T-drive on set point. A big flying cross chop from HoboNinja. HoboNinja. Ooh, finds the 2D. Oh my god, you people are the worst. I can't stand it. You're like me and my dad arguing. Except way less passive aggressive. Ooh! HoboNinja's risk is starting to go up. Good use of FD to keep it from going too high up. Things looking a little more normal from HoboNinja now. And I really like HoboNinja has a great understanding of that 5H spacing. The counter hit BT's double Luigi situation. You love to see it. D-drive, drawing first blood with a JD. Megafist back to call out a delayed air attack, perhaps? Woo! Going for any kind of follow-up pressure from that Megafist, perhaps for fear of a burst. C-drive. Now attacking a little more directly. Great attempt to get rid of the drone that lays out perfectly. BT from downtown. Hold out the cross up with the IB. Okay, it's time. Drop the hammer. Oh no, HoboNinja caught. Called out the burst. Baited perfectly. C-drive. Able to close things out. But finds a throw. The big head bonk. C-drive 3-2. We'll be moving on. We're moving into the part of the bracket where the game checks the status of the connection. That's right, it's been lost. Oh yeah, terrific little set. It's always a privilege and a pleasure to have HoboNinja come through and play the game. Listen, if things go quiet like that, like no background music, I'll just move into the mic and talk a little bit, but I don't know if you could call it ASMR. Not legally. Not ethically. Alright, we will get, what are you putting in Discord? Oh, it's... Listen, Teddy, the player's name is HoboNinja. I don't know what you're expecting from someone with that name. That's a you problem, if you ask me. Okay, we're gonna move into, we're gonna keep moving on with losers. We're gonna have Fatcatteddy versus EmoScoobyDoo. Excuse me. Oh, okay, alright, I was about to ping y'all, but, anyway, this is the part where I set up the, poll. Oh no, never mind. It moved on too fast. I don't have time to set anything up. Apologies, everybody decided to move along so quickly. I'm a little caught off guard. Heavy is slugging. Alright, I'm gonna start the prediction. It's for Jape, so don't think about it too hard. Oh my gosh. EmoScoobyDoo is really taking it hard. No, I hardly had a chance to say anything between being behind on the thing, setting up the poll. I'll try and set things up a little more funny in the future. Hey, it's been like... I'm pretty sure it's been more than 20 seconds at this point, so... Very unfortunate. The White Wild Assault. Teddy setting the pace. Stepping back. Oh my god. You people are going for each other's throats. It's ridiculous. Ooh, nice use of the throw to go through the laser. EmoScoobyDoo taking a bunch of damage, but is finding very nice utility use out of all the things that are put up on the screen there. Oh my gosh. Teddy, why are you typing mid-match? Fun. Oh my god. We got some BT cancels there to try and keep the corner. Scooby-Doo just goes for a burst. Oh my gosh, you people are throwing me so much I can't even run this darn thing. I'm 2 matches behind. It's all Teddy this set in the losers quarters. I believe we're at now. I try to stay on top of this kind of thing, but it's been way too funny this evening, and I appreciate that. You know, sometimes you just gotta do a round start, slow overhead BT. Send a message. Already minigun makes an appearance. A little bit of a trade, mid minigun there. Ooh! Ooh, scooped. Remember, Gold Lewis's offense is fundamentally flawed. Scooby-Doo wanted that Megalomania so hard. That RC slowdown made it not happen, though. Not quite enough to close it. I am in shock that that run-out throw worked the way it did. Teddy is sending a message this evening. There's the 2S to poke out. A Wild Assault to confirm. Into a wall break. Scooby-Doo making great use of the resources they have. Well, Scooby-Doo may be able to turn things around starting now, unless... No. I think Scooby-Doo's blocking. Goes for the max churn, you know, it doesn't quite pay out how Teddy would have wanted, but... Scooby-Doo with half Saka burst ready to go. We'll see if that's enough to get them a W. Put them on the board this set. Well, hey, it's enough to keep Teddy out. The reversal. Teddy has so many resources to work with, though. Yeah, that little 2P into the minigun. Closing things out here. Teddy 3-0. We'll move on to loser semis. EmoScoobyDoo, it's been good having you come through this evening. Privilege and a pleasure as always. Thanks for coming through, playing your heart out, filling out the bracket, and getting some dubs on the board. We got Drax and C-Drive coming through. How many gamers we got on the podiums? We got 2 gamers on the podiums. You know, sometimes you just gotta recognize that you're doing a little too much, and less is more, you know? Holy moly. Listen, I try not to plan ahead too hard for who to raid when the stuff's happening, but I just decided to pull Twitch back up. And I'm watching Dot stream. It says, playing easy stuff today, and I see Castlevania 3 on stream, and I'm just thinking, holy moly. We're looking at the not easy stuff on stream, though. The Viking vs. Bedman matchup. Drax. It's caught by the follow-up, C-Drive. Playing pretty in control here. But Drax can really bully with Viking. You know, I've said before, this character's a gorilla. The gunshot. Collecting some plus frames. You know, if we're talking about characters that delete you for doing too much, Viking is right here. King? Yeah, Drax, that was a dash animation from Drax. I wonder if this is maybe a bit more in Bedman's favor than I thought it would be. It's great to check Bedman's air movement stuff with the likes of a 5P or something now and then, but Viking's 5P is very low to the ground. So even though it's nice and quick, I wonder if Viking will struggle with that. If Drax will struggle with that in this matchup just because of character choice. We know they have an elf elf. So if it comes to a chance where an opportunity to do so, we may see a character swap to Elf Elf. She has a very, very strong 5P, 5 frames while standing. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Viking has very good air-to-airs with the likes of JS, but you know, Bedman is a character who's very strong in the air, has a wicked JS himself and a very respectable JP. With that, I finished the last of my waters, so hopefully won't run dry this evening in terms of any throat issues. Drax has taken a major lead. Going over C-Drive's White Wild Assault. Talked before about how C-Drive's a little more loath to use it than certain other Bedman gamers we've seen this evening. Not naming names, and there are 2 different ones we've seen, so it's up to you to decide. I think the range discrepancy on the ground might be Drax's disadvantage. We'll have to see how things play out. I'm just not familiar with this matchup. You'd think I was. I watched Head Chef play against... You know what? Head Chef... Okay was playing Johnny. Never mind. Never really seen it, despite playing in proximity to 2 players who use these characters. Everybody's dunking on Teddy this evening. Eddie's always mashing. Eddie's spending 50 meters to go from plus 15 to plus 12. Drax wants to even up the scores though. Count. C drive. Hook one early. Drax gets what they're looking for. Nice even round count. We were talking earlier about how air-to-airs might work for biking. That JS worked out very nicely for Drax. Ooh, what a conversion off those two explosions. Huge grip of damage. Not able to get the conversion into the wall break there. I wonder if the install was perhaps a misinput on C drive's side. C drive, I think, could be well on top here between the range and the health lead. It's not like you can really burst to get yourself out of a pickle that comes from getting shot by projectiles. But this is Drax's game now that they have the corner and a close range advantage. And with that Takami launch, yeah, closing it out. 2 straight wins. Man, I'm closing a few windows. I saw the text of that exclamation point Teddy command, and I am just got the biggest smile on my face. Okay, C drive, swap into Gold Lewis. Maybe expecting the taller frame and better positioned 5T to work out a little more strongly. As well as bigger damage, less gimmicks. Oh my gosh, the 268 to knock Viking down from out of the air. Oh my gosh. This is a slugfest. You love to see it. Catches the 6P. Yozansen is not a fine move. That move is not okay. Does find the 6P this time. Oh, it's a JH, excuse me. You know, I'll get it at some point. Oh my gosh. Caught by the gun. You got your gun, I got mine. Oh, was he trying to PRC it or something? Yeah, that had to have been it. Very interesting, he didn't let it rip. C-Drive is on the board. Locked into Gold Lewis at this point. That's there's certainly worse fates. Gold Lewis is a big fella, and against a character with the likes of JS, JH, and Yozansen, I worry about how C-Drive will deal with that. Woo. Woo. You know, you're not the only one who can behind the back with the air moves. Oof. Might see... No time to laser. C-Drive, maybe looking for it. Woo. BP drive. Starting to make a drive back to win. Needs a round and a match to clinch it. Ooh. 2H can be very spooky on whip. Drax has to be careful. Finds a parry, finds the tether. Things working out pretty well. Keeping C drive in the corner. Risk is cranked. Risk is cranked. Not finding the biggest starter, just a 5k, but it's gonna be enough. No, it's not enough. A little drop. C drive. Surely will not spend any burst here. For fear of another round. Double Luigi situation. No, excuse me. Not a double Luigi situation. It's a set point situation for Drax. Waiting out the drone. That does give C-Drive a lot of good time to reposition to the corner. Nice jump back JT to deal with that 2H. We just talked about the dangers of whipping it. It's caught by the overhead. C-Drive has a whole bunch of meter to work with. Will we see DRC forward? No. Laser. At this time, just minigun mix. Excuse me, drone mix. Shot. No, that was a great, very smart use of the gunshot. Drax pulling it out. That we got a losers, semis, all set up and ready to go. But before that happens, we're gonna move to the upper half of the bracket. BT versus Rain. Winners finals. It's time. BT on player one side. Rain joined the room. You know, it's at times like this I really wish I could actually do the manner of hot sauce chug challenge. I'm feeling a little congested from talking too much, but I mentioned earlier I'm running low on water, so in fact I've gone through it all this evening, so I don't think chugging any Tabasco this evening would do me any favors. Not at this point in the evening. Okay. Rain has chosen Unica. Reached out to me 2 weeks ago when I said Unica wouldn't be allowed. Asked if she could be allowed to play Unica. Has been looking forward to this character, perhaps.
Cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts.
Let's rock. Winners finals. BT. Drawing first blood. Rain. Establishing a nice distance to push BT back towards more the middle of the stage. And Rain just has such a great game sense. He's finding very good use of those far normals, the far slash, the 2S to kind of box BT out from taking them to the corner, even though we've seen a little bit of engagement in the corner where BT was in there. Not a whole lot of action from BT that really got them in trouble. They managed to fight their way out pretty easily. Aiding the YRC, BT finds the decisive blow. You know, 2S, great button that it is. You gotta look out for the likes of Unica's 5H. They're the same speed. I think a counter hit 5H will get more than 2S trade. I really like the pressure that Rain is running. This string of offense is really working nicely. Managed to pick them up around, but it's all BT in this third round of this first match. Ooh, goes under the penetrate. As I mentioned earlier, you need to be careful of the spacing, because if you penetrate, goes under the opponent, the bum move. That really seemed to seal the Rain's fate there. BT able to run offense effectively and quickly, close things out. Nice and quick. Rain not drawing first blood, but getting a great start on offense there. Keeping BT in the corner. No, 2H doesn't have the range to convert effectively. Or at all, even. Great use of these dash cancels. It's one of Unica's more interesting facets is how many more dash cancels than other characters she has. No, there's no Yazansa in the ASCII command. I'll see what I can do to put one in. I won't be able to do it immediately, but not if you want me to keep focused on the match at hand. Excuse me, I thought I updated that. Rain, getting those plus frames from that 5H follow-up. Flips the low with the MLA. Rain for suspend burst. Air blocking the sultry performance. Now the tide's starting to turn in BT's favor. Starting to really turn in BT's favor. 5P anti-air, but no conversion. YRC's just to get the knockdown into the mix-up situation. One more interaction. Rain on the cusp of negative penalty. Fighting against it, gets clipped by the sultry performance. Was under the far slash, that's huge. If these initial moves from Unica don't connect, can't go into the follow-ups that make her specials really dangerous. Not without 6H, which is a time-consuming maneuver to use. Wow, the DP from downtown? I can't believe that hit. Oh, with the penetrate. DP. Keeping it pressure on. Nate's making great use of that 5H follow-ups plus frames. Woo. Making great use of 5H in neutral as well. And the dash cancel of the 5H follow-up secures a win in Rain's favor. For the most part, when I was making ASCII commands, I was making them with players who come through regularly in mind. So that's why we have a Mistfiner. Oops. For Rain. Pretty sure we have a Potemkin Buster for HoboNinja. Yeah, we have a 2H from when Teddy was playing Slayer. Okay, BT's spending burst early. Ooh. Ooh, with the 5H to clobber the Stroke the Big Tree. Getting the DP follow-up because it's enhanced. Had to stay quiet to let the Megadeth Buster sound clip play. Just follows up with the close slash Oki. That 2S, if you're not calling it out with the likes of 5H, probably not going to win round start decisively. Rain down to about 50% of Frel. Again, the 5H follow-up dash cancel. Getting a lot of plus frames, getting a lot of mileage for Rain. Great pressure. Just goes for the penetrate, doing it raw, not even worrying about getting the power up. Ooh, flips the penetrate. It's 16 frames, remember, so it's not the fastest move. You stick out like a 2K, maybe even a 2S, you'll stop it in its tracks. And it's interesting to see BT add that to their repertoire. We'll see if that scares Rain going forward or not. It's the throw. Just a far slash follow-up, but no combo ender. No punish on these 5Hs either. Reminder that it's minus 30-ish on whiff, so you have plenty of time to get a far slash or something. BP. Down on resources, but positive bonus will make the deficit up in just a moment. Rain, not quite able to get the anti-air with the 5H. No burst. Can't get, you can't get trick knee. Ooh! Oh, gold burst. Rain. Oh, it doesn't quite get the streak out in time. Just gets clobbered before the beam becomes active, and BT taking that to the bank. 2-1 situation right now. We know Rain mains Johnny. We'll see if that where Rain will go to next. It's been a minute. Wait. Yeah, there's Johnny. Or rather, here's Johnny. Couldn't miss an opportunity for that. Rain looking to make up lost ground with her main character right now. BT has a position of advantage, but not against a 9-frame far slash from Johnny. Remember, even though BT's 2S is a low profile move, it doesn't hit low. Back into the corner, close to the card pressure. Rain. Cards run out. Now has a card on the table. That is an insane sentence to read. Ooh. Caught by the counter hit in Senga. This is gonna do a grip. Not quite able to convert. I think BT was expecting it. Yeah, no wall break. The Nsenga just fell short. this is BT picking up where Rain left off, getting the corner. Woo. Set point for BT. Rain can make the comeback if they manage to just take a round. It's 2S, but finds a flash situation. Now has the corner. Rain backing off a little bit, perhaps expecting that dive out. Does manage to find a good pressure there. Ooh, good fight P. Checking Eno's air movement. Getting confirmed, but just checking it nicely. The heart on the table gets the overhead conversion. Not able to get the full conversion off the bar slash follow-up. Through the wall, Rain still has a big lead in all resources, health and burst. Positive bonuses evening that out. BT can make things happen. Oh, it just gets clipped by a 2S there. Rain evening the score. And we're seeing some discussion of things that can be used to nerf Johnny. Maybe this Johnny character could get a horse that he could fall off of. Maybe get some petty nerfs. I feel like maybe a little less health and a 7-frame 2K would probably be what I would say Johnny should get. But I'm not in charge of balancing. I can't make those decisions. Whoop. It's a 2-2 situation. We're in game 5 right now. It's gonna get real tense. No conversion off that close slash counter hit. That's gonna hurt in the long run for Rain. Probably expecting a burst there, maybe trying to bait it. We'll have to see. You people in the chat are insane. Oh, just like a gunslinger waiting for the opponent to draw, just holding the missed finer. Doesn't quite get the kill. BT with a full stick of butter, though. You know, just missed finer from downtown. Rain on set point. BT goes for the big 2S round start option that we love to see in WeebCup. Rain. Spacing on that stroke to stay out of punish range. BP just walking Rain down, you know, maybe trying to scare with the threat of a megalomania. On the verge of taking Rain out. Woo. Alright, it's a double Luigi situation. This is getting exciting. Ooh. How much damage that throw did. It's very spooky to move against Johnny with this this air movement. Rain just closing it out, nice and easy. Making it look like no challenge at all, even in the double Luigi situation. You know, maybe slowing down Johnny's dash by like a frame would be something else I'd consider, but I don't know. I think y'all are proposing some very interesting ideas. Rain moving on to Grand Finals. BT moving on to Losers Finals. Fatcatteddy versus Drax next. Oh boy. Get your Exclamation point 2 H's ready in the chat.
Duel 1. Let's rock!
Eddie in the corner. Slayer, not the greatest character under pressure. Can use a 2H to become a bit more explosive if you think the opponent is going to use a low move. Drax with the early... Going for the Ozansen there is a bold move. Look at what I have to work with. Johnny has a trip mechanic with a 1 out of 1 chance to on dash to trip. Do you see what I have to put up with running this bracket? I gotta try and get the... I gotta wrangle the players, I gotta manage the scores, I gotta commentate, I gotta make it engaging, and I gotta look at you jokers filling my chat with a bunch of trash. Ooh, manages to go over the 2K with the Yozansen. Listen, you can... Rain, do not feel bad about who you're playing. Just play who you enjoy and have a good time. Like, I say that... I mean this in seriousness. Like, I do think there are certain characters who are, like, absolutely whack and I hate playing against, but I would never try to make anybody feel bad for playing a certain character. And I don't think anybody else should. And, you know, I joke about people saying, give Johnny a horse, but it's a lot funnier than, like, just saying, oh, this character sucks and he's a fuck-ass character and I hate him. So, you know, hey y'all, just tone it down on characters that you think are whack. Like, yeah, joke about it a little bit, but, listen, you can be as salty as you like, just take it to the lab and use it to power yourselves up. Hey, did you see that Slayer nerd miss with his, Last Horizon? This is a dumbass character. I'm gonna put exclamation point 2H in the chat. In all seriousness, though, like, just keep it cool. We're all here to have a good time, and if someone feels bad because other people don't like the character they're winning with, then, I don't know, that's not the kind of attitude I want to see, really. We're all here to have a good time. We're here to improve. We're all here to bask in each other's presence, learn a little bit from how everybody plays, and walk away with a plan on how to improve. Walk away a little informed, walk away amused, walk away with a set of goals. Ooh, nice 2H from Teddy. Ooh, the gun! Teddy making great use of its late to call out these jumps. Ooh. Viking with the 4-frame 5P. It's not the best emergency anti-air, but it's a great check for these nice, highly mobile... Oh my gosh! Ooh. Teddy's just getting really pressured here. It's... Okay, fighting his way out now with a 2P of his own. Teddy. 2H. Said it earlier that... Oh, very nice awareness of the burst. Teddy? Who, takes another match. Oh, it is 1-1. You're right. Excuse me. I thought something looked wrong there. I appreciate you confirming. Yeah. I put that down wrong. I was in the middle of something, so I must have put it on the wrong side. I appreciate you clarifying. And I understand, like, yeah, it's fine to have a matchup spread, and a matchup spread can be either the best part of the game or the most unfortunate part of playing the game, but, you know, at some point, you gotta find some way to work it out, and, you know, just don't be too hard on the other person for playing a character that your character matches up poorly against. Like, whenever I play against Jacko, I want to die, but I don't hold that against any Jacko players. It's just something I gotta learn to deal with. There are tools that my character has to deal with Jacko, so I gotta use those tools, and if I don't use them effectively, it's my fault. I can't blame the other person for, you know, using tools that I don't fight back against. It does suck when you get shut down by a character, but you just make do with the decisions you've made. When you pick a character, it's a bed, man, that you make yourself and you gotta lie in. Because it's a fellow glue eater? I see. You know, it's two glue eaters on screen, apparently. You know, I've talked about how Baiken is a gorilla all evening long, and, you know, I'm not gonna hold back against saying that. I really do think Baiken's playstyle Baiken's kit complements a very belligerent, aggressive playstyle that is complemented by so-called gorilla players. And, you know, Slayer's the same thing, so... And you've been Rain out here saying Drax and Teddy cut from the same cloth, you know? I can respect and understand what's happening here. We got two very belligerent characters who... Can't believe that didn't kill. And, like, yeah, if... At some point, if, like, saying, oh, this character's belligerent and brain dead and eats the glue is a funny way of coping with it, then, you know, you can do that, but just keep it cool. We're here to have a good time and help each other enjoy playing the game. And if you don't enjoy playing against the other person, you know, sometimes you just gotta hold that in your chest. You want a clean environment, you know? I don't want to go into anecdote here, but I got a heck of a one I talked about earlier on Blue Sky. Maybe I'll talk about it some other time. I gotta focus on commentating a match here, because Drax is on set point, and is working on a perfect. Teddy. Kinda getting stymied by these tatamis, and that's kinda what you gotta do against this Slayer champion. You gotta throw out projectiles to scare him away from using the likes of... Oh my gosh! Okay. Yeah, you gotta use projectiles to kind of clog up the neutral so he can't use Mappa or Dandy Step to just force his way in, and then play around what he does in response to that. And I think Drax did that pretty well. We'll be moving on to Losers Finals against BT. Alright, we got BT versus Drax going up next. We'll be moving on to fight Rain in Grand Finals. Practice TK Tatami, you know, it's been her staple for the longest period of time. Back in the Exard days, I remember you could get all kinds of stuff from Tatami and JD loops. It's Losers Finals time. Let's rock. We're gonna see a lot of BT in the air, I think. I think it was C-Drive who mentioned Maybe it was BT. It was either BT or C Drive you mentioned earlier that Baiken, without a quick emergency anti-air like a 5P, the likes of a 5P, will have to probably take to the air to really consistently deal with Baiken. With Eno, excuse me. It's all BT right now, though. Through the wall with the hard knockdown. Collecting those plus frames, very smart to use the Fortissimo there. I don't believe Baiken can parry it with Hiragi. Again, more plus frames with the Fortissimo. Does mean that can't get the hard knockdown with the wall break there, but you know, positive is positive. And she doesn't hover dash and Baiken jumps. Right. I was saying that probably Baiken will have to take to the air because she doesn't have a great emergency anti-air for stopping Eno's hover stuff. BT. One on the board. Right. If I spoke quickly, you know, if I accidentally just mash parry, you know, you're so right. Hey Arxis, when are you gonna make Anji's Kachofu Getsu Super? When are you gonna make that air okay? That's what you should do next, Arxis. Drax has the early advantage. Damage, getting it early. Risk is looking cranked. Okay, it's okay. It's down a little bit, but oh my gosh. The burst comes to save BT from taking a whole lot of damage, but not any way to mitigate all that risk damage. I feel like if there's one thing that will really swing things in Drax's favor, it's gonna be that risk crank damage. BT is looking pretty in control here, has lots of projectiles to stymie Drax's Hiragi attempt. Goes over the Escabari there, very nice, very good awareness. We'll have to look out for Drax trying to mix things up with H-Kabari as a result. Remember, when you FD Eno's sweep, it does create a spacing where you can fight back against her special follow-ups. Clobbered by that JS there. I could see Drive saying in chat earlier, this is where BT does not want to be in the air. Doesn't want to hover dash when Baiken's jumping. Ooh. Manages to use a really well-placed chemical up to catch Baiken trying to jump. Drax trying to jump there. BT looking strong though, unstoppable almost. There's a big JH though, so maybe when the spacing's right, it looks like Baiken will have the advantage when it comes to these air moves. All BT here, just using the note Oki to get great mix Oki from the pressure that results from it. Overhead low, overhead low. Drax hardly stands a chance, it seems like. Just getting smothered by this overwhelming hover pressure. And the range discrepancy, too. These long-range projectiles, you saw it a second ago, just Escabari just not being able to go anywhere compared to a Chemical Love used to lock biking down Drax. Has to make these very committal movements as well with like that 2H. Fortissimo puts Drax on the verge of defeat. One more good interaction will do it. There, the 2H strikes home though. BT spends burst, and you know, why not? One touch away from death. That's advantage BT for sure. Yeah, 2H is... I think 2H is a very strong button, and even Biken players underrate it. But it's a flawed button. It's not something you can just use super recklessly. And that's a great point you bring up, that if you can force Biken to use this flawed button, then 6P and Chemical Love can control the skies when you punish 2H, make her reluctant to use it. Hey, it's grand finals time. Rain on player 1 side, BT on player 2 side. Two similarly colored combatants with a taste for the same pink, black, white palette. Now we'll see. And talking up, spent the last match talking up Eno's great range, but we'll see it put to the test here. Kai, maybe one of the best mid-range characters in the game right now. Not quite as powerful as Johnny, for sure, but has a great 10-frame far slash to control space with, convert into Wild Assault with. And life totals are looking pretty even right now, with Rain getting a scoop, bending burst nicely. BT on the verge of defeat, but has a huge amount of resources to work with. Rain surely looking to bait out some kind of defensive option with that heavy stun edge, with BT not biting. Rain finding victory by taking to the air. Ooh! Look at this jousting in the air, the movement. Not quite able to get a pick up there in the corner, but gives BT room to fight back, and hey, Wild Assaults take the corner themselves. The opposite corner, that is. Rain. Stroke to go under the heavy stun edge. Not quite able to punish that reversal there. That's going to be... We'll have to see if that comes back to bite BT, because it looks like they're on top right now. Just backing off, looking to try and bait out some kind of option from BT, but goes nowhere. Big. H button from Kai. Rain. There's a 6H, I believe. Woo. BT threatening to smother Rain. Deflect shield to no avail as doesn't block right against the follow-up. A little bit of a 5k pickup. The odd 5k anti-air. Goes under. My turn for the low-profile move. He's doing a really good job blocking against this mix-up, but BT finds the S Vapor Thrust punish they missed earlier, like a boomerang. It comes back. Look at the cancel there. I'm not sure if it would have quite beaten any kind of anti-air, but again, a stroke to go underneath the charged stun edge. BT chalks up a round.
mankind knew
Okay, well, I was typing in Discord. No, we do not see character swap. Whoop. Whoop. Look at the subtle movement that's making me jump. There's a 5H. Like, I was saying it earlier, I've been saying this for a long time now. Every single one of Kai's H buttons are absolutely wild buttons in this game. Very strong, very long range, great combo starters, no matter how you slice it. Future arc. For the 2P, remember against Ino's dives, the follow-ups, you can usually use a jab to reclaim your turn. Finds the scoop. Future arc can be punishable on paper, but it's really spacing dependent, so I really like Rain being bold and going for a throw immediately afterwards. Fear of, rather BT perhaps fearing some kind of whiff punish follow-up. Ooh. Closing out with an air-to-air. BT is making pretty decent use of air-to-airs, considering Rain took that first round of the first match with the JK air-to-air. BT's getting in, going under these charged stun edges with stroke. BT's making it work. Trying to make a statement here, I think. Hates the burst. BT well on her way to a bracket reset in Grand Finals. Sticking with Johnny. Sticking with Kai, excuse me. Not swapping to Johnny. I'm mixing things up in my head. Big 6H. 5k anti-air, you love to see it. Rain fighting their way out of the corner. Look at its positioning, trying to run underneath the BT while they're charging up for a sultry performance. Listen, there's some real demonic round start buttons out there. I've seen, like, Konbork and Ooey Gooey both go for 5H round start, and I've never been able to comprehend what's going through their head when they do it. Rain with a bunch of meter to work with. ERC backdash. Goes into a follow-up with the Wild Assault. Fudra arc into the charge stun edge Ogi. That's a big bunch of damage there. Very nice, very nice. BT has the advantage in this round. There, I was talking about Kai's Far Slash being a great tool. We'll see a little more of this aerial stun edge action. So what's number 3? Is it Zato's or Unica's? Blocking from Rain. Goes for a reversal though and gets punished for it when it whiffs. Oh, Testament? Ooh, you're so right. Rain able to take the corner pressure. We're seeing, I really like this staggered offense. Woo. Doesn't appear to be paying dividends, but it does show that Rain is on the lookout for fuzzy defense. Just getting clipped at range from these overheads. There we go, fighting their way out of the corner. You gotta interact with Eno's offense at some point. Ooh, caught by the 6P. Not a hit, but it does give BT. Ooh, what a side swap. Just runs under. And that's a reset. Okay, we're moving into a grand final reset. Rain, sticking with Kai. Perhaps looking to gradually adjust using the same set of tools. Maybe thinking that changing it up now might be a bad idea. Maybe BT's a little too familiar with the Johnny matchup. We'll have to see. It's an early scoop. Takes the corner. No burst to maintain the corner. Now spends it. I really like that, actually. Waiting for a little bit of a mid-range situation for burst to take. I'm stumbling over my words, but the spacing that Rain bursts at means it's more of a mid-range game when the burst reinforces the positioning for the corner. It really feels like BT is just playing hard to get, just dashing around the screen, dashing out of the corner with dive kicks, goes under the 6H, and BT will have resources to take the round with a next hit. No, spends it. Forced to spend burst here. This is going to be... Ooh, what a 5P anti-air. And the implications of that late burst from BT means that things are going to be rough going forward for the rest of this set. Awkward timing to get your bursts back, to use them. But BT is pressing forward, using these chemical loves really well. Risk is looking kind of cranked on Rain. Going down now, and will get a bunch of extra resources to work with as they aggress their way out of the corner with that risk dropping with each passing second. And it's really looking like it's paying off. Has a whole bunch of meter to work with. Thanking their lucky stars that no punish came on that whipped vapor thrust. BT just dive kicking. But it's Rain keeping things clean and compact to take that first W for this reset. As this bracket winds down, I am gonna take a quick look at what's happening on Twitch right now. See if there's anyone I can send y'all on over to. Nobody sticks out at the moment, but I'll keep my eyes peeled as the night goes on. I got a few people in mind, a few things to talk about at some point. Maybe not this week. BT has a great spot in the corner right now until Rain uses a great use of JD to delay the jump and fight their way out. Now BT's taking it back. Resources in BT's favor. Woo! Definitely in BT's favor. knockdown from the air by Fujar. Terrific anti-air button. Can bring you back to the ground. It can convert into combos on hit. Ooh, the wall bounce. Not able to get the full break there from the Sacred Edge. Oh, okay, okay. Rain, playing gutsy with that reversal there. Maybe that's what they've been looking for this whole time when the reversals have whiffed the past few times. Doesn't pay huge dividends though. Does get a chunk of damage, but through the wall. Okay, okay. Ooh. Oh no! Rain gets clipped in a Roman cancel situation. I feel like that definitely could have been played out better. Maybe a reversal or something. A DP. That is a BT comes out on top kind of situation. It's 1-1 now. BT has the corner. It's definitely an Eno round. Well, at least it was until Rain managed to press their way out. As we move back towards mid-screen, we immediately start to move back towards the corner. This time it's Rain taking the offensive. Ooh, stroke. I like this positioning both these gamers are doing. Big 2H conversion with the charged stun edge. Rain trying to find the proper spacing with which to fight their way out. Doesn't quite come. BT seems to have the best of it, especially right now. You cannot break Rain's guard. What a check with that 5P. And the dust conversion? Nice, nice. The RC there. All Rain this round so far, but there's plenty of time left. See a bunch of meter for both these gamers, so we could see something explosive happen. Offense, defense, we'll have to wait to see who gets the best of it. Rain is absurdly good at blocking this evening. Dealing with these high-lows very well. It's BT who has a wall break. Great use of deflect. And the nice use of the RC. Remember, the dive kick follow-ups from Eno are not exactly the safest thing in the world. So you can check them. Great use of the RC to keep the pressure going. What a challenge with a close slash. Oh, okay, okay, okay. BT. Great conversions. Ooh, a drop. Not quite able to get a wall splat. Catches the backdash. BT, not enough damage to close out. Will get positive bonus for the troubles. There's the Fujar Arc anti-air I was talking about. Able to finish the conversion. And perhaps looking for a burst. Rain takes the pressure back after that dive kick follow-up. Able to white sap that burst with Wild Assault in time, but Rain does have more resources to work with. Danger on the board. Ooh, what is it do? What a way to end that set. Rain, one match away from WeebCup 201 Championship. BT sticking with Eno, their faithful companion throughout all their brackets in WeebCup.
Duel 1. Let's rock!
Early burst from Rain. BT. Able to open up the guard here and there, but not able to really get big conversions, just kind of nickeling and diming Rain. Ooh! Dangerous situation to be caught using a charged stun edge. Able to get out of it, though. Using more tools to avoid the charged stun edge, this time with a dive kick. Not just using stroke anymore. We're bringing more tools to the table. It looks like it's coming out rewarding on BT's side. Rain, blocking well. Expect nothing less at this point. BT making great use of Chemical Love as they continue to win throughout this whole bracket. Oh my gosh! Whiff throw into whiff throw leads to Rain getting the best of the situation because they have the meter to capitalize. BT with the shock state. It's clipped at a 5K. Rain, set point now. Not able to take advantage after that blocked dive kick follow-up. His Rain was in the air. Nice delay. Not quite able to capitalize. BT finds a scoop. Ooh! The flex shield almost working out, but BT was ready for a 2K check, punishing the DP. That's been one of BT's sore spots, has managed to get plenty of DP punishes, but has let a whole bunch slide through, and this could be a big, big turnaround. No, okay, Rain. Drains the burst. Okay, it's BT, all BT now, 2-2. Tying things up. I appreciate how many matches this evening have gone down to the wire, the 2-3 situation. Both gamers bringing out the best in each other. Managing to develop the set nice and clean. It's 2-2. It's Grand Finals reset. This is the final. Let's rock. BT takes the first hit, Rain. Finding a nice bit of defensive work out of these IBFDs, but BT is looking for it. Just goes for the throw. Opens Rain up. And has the meter to convert after catching a backdash. Rain. Ooh! What a 2K to low profile the Chemical Love there, and manages to aggress. BT being pushed back under the charged stun edge pressure. Rain not quite in a position to catch the dive kick out of the corner, but catches it there. No pickup. One more interaction from either one of these gamers, I think, will close it out. Rain finds it first. Set point. Tournament point. BT has full burst. A nice little disjointed far slash there. Remember, 12 frames, very disjointed. unusually so. Rain is getting smothered by this this zoning game for projectiles. BT with another throw. That seems to have been the big pace changer in the last round as well for BT. Big counter hit. Positive for BT. He manages to get caught. Finally cracks Rain's defense. And this is a double Luigi situation in Grand Finals. There's the far slash conversion into Wild Assault. It's not as quite as explosive as Sin's. Woo. Okay, BT managing to take the corner. Great use of JD to stall above the Chemical Love. Rain is hunting for, yeah, manages to find the dive kick finally. BT on the back foot. Lower resources, gets caught by the staggered stun at Future Arc, excuse me. Jesus, the direct clot. Out of range, this could be BT's chance. Ooh. Dives out. Dives in. Catches Rain low. Ooh. Bends the burst. OTP, there it is. It's been a bit of a bummer for Rain the whole match, but it finds home and opens up the path to victory. Rain, 3-2, WeebCup 201 champion. The hot sauce Chug challenge has been concluded. Rain is your victor. And that's going to do it for us this evening. Great showing from all gamers. Appreciate all of you coming through this evening, as usual. Hey! I'm going to work on the top 8er right away. As mentioned in the Discord, I know some of you gamers have clan tags or whatnot. If you would like to, if you'd provide those for me, since they usually don't show up on challenge, I'll put them on the top 8er. Makes my life a little bit easier. And I'll get working on that right away, and then I'm gonna go to bed. Probably. Who am I gonna send y'all to raid? Is Gamma Chris streaming this evening? I thought he was, but it seems not. I bring up Gamma Chris because next week he's going to be doing a bunch of streaming for charity stuff for Trans Lifeline, so I'd like to raid him as often as possible next week. Doesn't look like he's on this week. Think Bracket About Nothing is doing their beginner stuff this week. If I can find them, get some confirmation on that. Doesn't look like it. Huh. Well then. I'll just send you over to Jinkitsu. It's been a while since I've rated her. Yeah, she's playing a little bit of, Elden Ring. Not Night Rain from the looks of things. Yeah, so go say hi to Jinkitsu, tell her what's good, and put exclamation point quote 85 in her chat. It's a good time. Alright, y'all have a good rest of your evening, and take care.